after England's first game, the demolition of Iran by 6-2.
Yep.
My expectations have just been blown out of all proportion now. I'm expecting at least 15 goals from England tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get that, but I'm expecting big things. I really am. We don't, sorry, Betty, we don't usually start off well. If we do, maybe we'll nick a 1-0. I'm not just going back to the last World Cup. I'm going, looking back at all the times we've played at, tournament football, we don't start that well. Not only did we start really well, I know it's Iran, I know that, but we had goal scorers all over the pitch, and none of them were Harry Kane.
No, listen, it was expectation, but I think it's about getting out the group, but playing well while doing it, and they certainly did that against Iran. But tonight will be a different test. USA more pace, more direct, can be got at. And it's about England approaching the game with the same mentality as they did against Iran. I think if England show up and play the exact same way as they did against Iran, they'll win the game. As simple as that.
Do you expect any changes? And by that, I don't just necessarily mean the starting 11. I also mean formation as well. I would hate to see 3 at the back. I would hate that. But I would imagine that Gareth Southgate is thinking, well, the Americans are slightly more dangerous than the Iranians were going forward. So do you expect Gareth to maybe
No, I would stick with the exact same team in the exact same formation.
But do you think Gareth will?
Yeah, I think he will. I think when you see how one side of the game against Iran were, and listen, people can keep saying Iran. We saw Iran just beat Wales relatively comfortably after the second half.
Yeah, could have been more than 2.
Could have been more. You've got to be happy with that. So you've got to stick with that. If you're changing, listen, let USA worry about England. Look, I used to hate working for managers that focus so much on the opposition. Listen, we're a good team as well. Let them worry about us. Work on our tactics, our shape, the way that we're going to play. Let USA worry about that. There's nowhere on the planet with the players that England have got, England should be worrying about what USA are doing. Let them worry about us.
What do England need to do in tonight's game to send more of a message out? Because if England fall over the line by a goal to nil with a Harry Kane penalty in 89, do you think anyone that would have seen the Iran game, oh my goodness, England could be... They will watch that one tonight and go, oh, actually, it's just England.
No, but I think even if you look at the Iran game, Iran still had chances, so you still can get it.
And we conceded 2. Is that big? We haven't talked about that, right? We conceded 2 goals against Iran. Is that a problem?
I won't say it's a problem, but England, there were opportunities, and Pickford made a great save when he tipped it onto the crossbar.
Yeah.
So I don't think England have ever been rock solid, and I think people know that, but they can score goals. So I wouldn't say it's an issue, but teams like USA will think, we know that they've got good quality players and they can score goals, but we can certainly hurt them as well. So even if England win 1-0, it's a clean sheet first and foremost, but it's 6 points on the board.
I know, but we do as a nation. We do get on their back, don't we? If the performance isn't like the one against Iran, if we don't score copious amounts of goals,
okay, if you'd have won 1-0, 2 clean sheets but only 2 goals, would there be panic? No. Defensively, rock solid.
I think there'd still be question marks.
Yeah, how?
You can't take anything negative from the first game, can you?
Nothing.
Apart from conceding 2 against Iran.
Exactly,
but
that's about it. And obviously they had a couple of opportunities, but no, it's you won the first game 6-2. It can't go much better than that.
Who's key for England tonight, do you think? Where will the game be won and lost? Is it a midfield battle, do you think, or are there question marks still defensively over England?
Yeah, there's always going to be question marks around defensively for England, what he does. But listen, Jude Bellingham stepped up against Iran. He was brilliant, scored the first goal. Energy. But usually we're so used to talking about Declan Rice in that midfield, and it's always Declan Rice plus 2 others. Who's it going to be? It's now Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. And I'd even go as far as to say that people talk about maybe him being the next captain, Declan Rice. I think it could be Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, I agree.
Could be the next captain.
I agree. You mentioned Bellingham scored that goal. Should we be expecting more from Declan in the goals category or not?
Do you know, you shouldn't. Do you know why? Because and I think Declan's better when he's box to box, driving forward. But when you've got someone who is as energised, as enthusiastic as someone like Jude Bellingham, you're best off going, you know what? I know Jude, I get it. I'd like to be doing that role, but I'm going to sit back here and do my job, protect the back line. You go. Mason Mount, you go.
I know, but one of the criticisms Jordan Henderson had when he's in a Liverpool shirt and when he was in an England shirt is he doesn't score or score enough. Is that a question we'll be asking?
Yeah, but you say that. If England are winning games and convincingly as they are, and the midfield 3 are playing really well, then Declan Rice doesn't really need to have to do that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we all know he is that deep line of midfield. He's the one who's got to protect that back line. So if he doesn't score that many goals,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. Okay.